Science has uncovered a structural constraint in human history. Out of roughly 148 species of large wild terrestrial herbivores and omnivores, only a very small number were ever domesticated in a way that sustained civilization. Not dozens, a few: sheep, goats, cattle, and camels. When geneticists examine early domestication, they find strong founder bottlenecks. A small subset of wild populations becomes the entire breeding base. Effective population size collapses. Artificial selection accelerates. Most large mammals fail this transition entirely. They panic in confinement. They resist hierarchical control. They fail captive breeding. They do not survive structured human management. Yet this narrow group does. That creates real scientific tension. Why is the viable pool so small? Why did only certain herd ungulates possess the latent traits necessary for domestication? Which came first? Domestication enabling expansion, or expansion driving domestication? Why do unrelated species display parallel domestication syndrome traits linked to the same neural crest developmental pathways? Scientists have called this the mystery of the domestication bottleneck. Washington University researchers studying this phenomenon concluded there are more questions than answers. The constraint is severe. The option space is narrow. Now consider the Quran. In Al-An'am 6, 142 through 144, it explicitly lists four paired livestock categories: sheep, goats, cattle, camels. In Yasin 36, 71 through 73, it says, "We created for them grazing livestock and we subdued them for them." The word used for subdued is dalalna, meaning the tractability itself was installed, not discovered by humans through trial and error. In An-Nahl 16, 5 through 8, their civilizational functions are enumerated: warmth, food, transport. In Al-Ghashiyah 88, 17, the camel alone is singled out for contemplation of its design, the most physiologically anomalous of the four, the one whose domestication origin scientists still debate most. The text does not provide a random sampling of animals. It identifies precisely the same constraint suite that modern genomics and zooarchaeology recognize as the backbone of large-scale human civilization. The same four, the same pairs, described as sent down, subdued, and purposively equipped. How did a 7th century text isolate the exact narrow civilizational livestock set before the domestication bottleneck was a field of scientific inquiry? Before genomics, before zooarchaeology, before Jared Diamond mapped the constraints in guns, germs, and steel. Before Washington University convened a conference on why the option space was so improbably small. The Quran named them, paired them, called them sent down, and called the question,